Hello and welcome to a video. After all the shit that's been going on in the YouTube art commentary / regular commentary community for the last few weeks, and is kinda still going on, and will without a doubt happen again because we as people love drama, I've decided to voice my opinions as someone who actively watches that type of content. Although it's usually just as background noise, I enjoy listening to others' opinions on certain topics, their hot takes on different situations, and generally catching up on the latest tea. So without further ado, let me do exactly that and tell you my opinion while a speed paint plays in the background. Very hypocritical of me, I know, but at least I'm self-aware. Also, there's a weird formatting issue with the speed paint, but just ignore that. Anyway, so I don't know when I started watching commentary videos, specifically those pertaining to the art community, but it was definitely quite early on when I started watching YouTube regularly. I think it happened after being on art YouTube for a while, mainly watching YouTubers like Bailey J. Eventually I ran out of content to watch, and I think this is when I discovered the browsing DeviantArt types of videos where people would mostly just make fun of young artists or strange fetish art. There would be the occasional call out for tracing or stealing, which sparked my interest in drama and tea spilling. These types of videos where people would review, big quotations there, someone's OC or call someone out because they left a mean message under their Sonic fan art were, as you can probably imagine, not the best quality and often made by either young kids or naive people who didn't think things through very well, leading to just angry, petty videos, sometimes with false information and contradictions. Obviously, I was recommended similar videos in the form of people commenting on the people who were making those types of videos, and calling them out for being assholes who just insult others' art under the guise of constructive criticism, or who stir up petty drama. The meta commentary also served as a third party explaining what the situation was while staying unbiased, so I could catch up on what was actually happening. Of course, there was only so much tea to be spilled, and I eventually became interested in regular commentary videos to satisfy my thirst for drama. I was also getting older and my interests were expanding to include more things, and I wasn't stuck in a small bubble of content. But this only happened more recently. I still found myself gravitating more towards the art side of things and was happy to see more channels popping up that seemed to formulate a reasonable opinion on certain topics, creators, and problems in the art community, and presented their opinions in a nicely formatted way, and weren't just saying, "Ugh, your art bad, don't trace." The topics were relevant, the videos interesting, and the creators behind the screen seemed cool, and I looked up to them. A typical parasocial relationship formed, and I trusted these people's opinions and research. I'd like to add here that I am very inclined to forming these kinds of parasocial relationships. I'm admittedly quite naive and am usually quick to trust someone, especially if there's no evidence they're a bad person. As someone who is bad at building relationships, I try all I can to hold on to those I do have, even if they're toxic. The reason I bring this up is I know a lot of people find themselves in a similar situation. It's hard to make real lasting friends in real life, and we lean on the internet to fill the void. This brings me to my main point: the manipulation that can occur in the commentary community. Of course, there's manipulation all over YouTube, but what can happen in this community is especially detrimental based on the nature of the content. That being, these channels being a source of information. How many people in your generation do you know who watch the news in the morning or evening, or read the newspaper? I know my parents do, but in my generation, not many. And I'm guessing for younger people, even less. We get our info from the internet, which in contrast to things like the news or traditional newspaper, doesn't require a multitude of checks and research and more checks to see if everything is correct before it's published. That's why people trust those sources, because they're constantly being checked. On the internet, anyone can say what they want, which is just fine and dandy. That's why we watch commentary videos, right? We want to hear what our favorite creators have to say. But there's already a problem there. We as viewers are biased towards the creators we like. Those creators have gained our trust and devotion by creating a parasocial relationship, but on what basis? They seem friendly, they say they love me, I like their voice, I want to be their friend because they seem cool. The reality is we don't actually know what they're like. We don't actually know if they're trustworthy. We trust them blindly based on arbitrary feelings or vibes. If a creator has some decent editing and good enough aesthetics to present the information they're giving in a pleasant way, chances are we probably believe them. Something along the lines of, the video looks decent, what they're saying must be well researched. Another factor is subscriber count. Someone with that many subscribers must know what they're talking about, right? Once some initial trust is established, that creator could say just about anything and still have people defend them. As viewers, we're also pretty lazy. Who actually goes into that link in the description to read those 10 articles about what was just talked about? I'm guessing not many, because I sure don't. I'm definitely guilty of blindly trusting what is said in a video, even though there was no evidence given, because I'm lazy and want to trust the person I look up to. I want to trust the person who made me laugh when I was feeling down, the person who went through the same thing as me, whatever it is. They hold that power of trust over me, and now can use it to manipulate me, manipulate the information they're disclosing, and I'm going to believe them. This becomes exponentially worse when the false information is not cleared up. Even if it is cleared up, it's still a huge problem. For example, X amount of people will see a video, hear that person Y did such and such and is not to be trusted. But what's this? Person Z exposes that the person who made that video is completely wrong, and person Y did no such thing. Well, at least that's cleared up, right? Wrong. Because a massive amount of people will never see that follow-up video or hear the new information. They will still believe that person Y is terrible, being none the wiser. They may even still support the person who lied about them in the first place. Additionally, there's a situation where a creator lies about themselves. I mean, we've all seen it recently, but it shouldn't come as a surprise that people change their online persona to whatever they want. They portray themselves in a way to make them likable, so you want to be their friend and keep coming back. But in reality, they might be the biggest bitch in the universe. But this is just a tangent and not on topic. Moving away from the whole information manipulation thing, the commentary community as a whole is pretty negative and toxic. Not just on the creator's side, but the viewer's side too. Everything is always about calling out negative behavior, stirring up drama, and spreading negativity, because that's the stuff that gets views. We're drawn to it and it's kind of addicting. But the toll this has on mental health is bigger than you think. Constantly being surrounded by that kind of stuff is pretty detrimental, I'm sure. As I'm typing this script, Spoctor just made a video addressing some of these problems, so go and watch that if you're interested. Another thing I've noticed is the pettiness of the community. Because of the constant strain to push out new information, small things get blown out of proportion. I mean, big stories like the stuff recently don't happen too often, thank goodness, but that just contributes to the toxicity. And things that would otherwise go unnoticed become huge dramas, causing more hate to go around. Again, there are other videos on this topic, and I don't want to go into it right now. In conclusion, one has to be extremely careful when it comes to the world of drama and commentary, because lives have been ruined over the spread of misinformation. Although it's not nice to watch your favorite creator while constantly having to consider if someone is manipulating you, it is necessary in this day and age. As viewers, we need to reflect on what is being shown to us and, if necessary, do some calling out ourselves, though preferably privately to avoid escalating things. Although hindsight is 20/20, we need to watch out for red flags as they come and not ignore them because of who they're coming from. People need to be held accountable. Do your own research to keep learning. Like I said, everyone can say anything on the internet. That includes you, the viewer. We can decide who we support or not, and if you think someone is being toxic, don't support them. Their success depends on the viewer, aka you. Most importantly, look after yourself and don't rely on internet personalities to fill a gap in your life. As hard as it may seem, try spending time with real-life friends and family, and try meeting new people. It's okay to have a favorite creator and support them, but unless you know them personally, they are not your friend or therapist or whoever. They're a person on the internet spilling tea for money. Also, take a break from the negative internet environment if you have to. That's all I have to say. Hopefully this wasn't a complete mess of a video, and you could find some kind of point. Although I'll probably remember something I wanted to say after posting this, but it's too late now. If you made it this far, thanks for watching or listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that nice stuff. If you want to follow me on more social media I don't post on, links are in the description. And other than that, have a nice day. Bye bye!